Good afternoon and welcome to the August 31st, 2016 Legal and Finance meeting. And I'd like to start with roll call and determination of quorum. Here. And now for the adoption of the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And now for the general public comment. And since there is no general public here, I will close that. And we'll go to consent items 1 through 8. And I will open public comment on that and close that. And is there anything that any of the council members want to pull off a consent? If not, I'm looking.
Approve items 1 through 8.
So we have a motion to approve items 1 through 8. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions pass. Now to non-consent items 9 through 14. I will open public comment and I will close public comment. And we'll start with item number 9 from the Finance Department. Number LF 083116-02. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6137 regarding supplemental appropriation number 3 for 2016. And I have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll go to Community Planning and Development. Item 10, number LF 083116-07, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6104, an ordinance to amend certain provisions in the Rapid City Plumbing Code by amending chapter 15.24 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. Have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 11, LF 083116-08, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6105, an ordinance to amend certain provisions in the Rapid City Electrical Code by amending section 15.16.020 of the Rapid City Municipal Code.
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, number LF 083116-09, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6106, an ordinance to amend certain provisions regarding contractor licenses by amending section 15.04.140 of the Rapid City Municipal Code.
So move to approve.
Have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 13 from the City Attorney's Office, number LF 081016-11, second reading and recommendation of ordinance number 6141, an ordinance to update the regulations related to purchases made by department directors by amending section 3.04.030 of the Rapid City Municipal Code.
So move to approve.
Have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 14, number LF 083116-12, request to remove stipulation requiring the applicant to sign a waiver of right to protest for a variance to install sidewalks adjacent to 3515 Seeger Drive, granted by the City Council on July 18, 2016. And Mr. Wright, you have the floor.
I think my discussion here is related to what was on Public Works agenda last night or yesterday, so I'll wait till Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. We have a motion to approve. Oh, Lisa Moderick, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it would be nice if Wade maybe could just give us a fine piece of discussion on that, just to get us prepared for what's coming down on this. Thank you.
Mr.
If that's
Chair.
okay, Mr. Chair.
It is. Go ahead.
This relates to a waiver that was given to install sidewalks, 3515 Seeger Drive. The motion was made and it was approved by the council to authorize that variance as long as the property owner signed a warp. The issue with it is that, number one, the property owner believes it'll be a cloud on their title, and I guess our office would agree with that. The other issue is that the warp doesn't have any significance when it comes to sidewalks. The council can order them in at any time, as you've heard and discussed before. And the waiver of right to protest, it's really related to a legal protest of a special assessment, and it's really applicable to street assessments as opposed to other types of assessments, and sidewalks wouldn't be included. It's relative to a specific statute that when you look at assessing a street project, if I can't remember the exact language, if more than half of the property owners along the street project were to object or protest, they could basically kill the project and not have the assessment. And that's not really an option when it comes to sidewalks. So having a warp is really it's superfluous. It doesn't have any legal effect. So that's why this item is brought forth by our office.
If I still have the floor. Can I ask you then, with the statement that you made about the warps, and it doesn't apply to sidewalks, but we've been issuing warps like candy, where are we at then on all the other warps that we've approved?
I'm not sure I can tell you where exactly. We have it sort of ingrained almost that if we're going to do a waiver of something or variance that we want to warp, I think that's something that we need to look at staff-wise and probably council, that this is something we can use in certain instances, but in other cases it's not really appropriate.
So is there a process we need to do to reverse those that are out there now?
That's a good question. I'm sure there are warps out there for sidewalks. I don't know if we have an easy way to identify those. That's something I guess I could talk with Public Works and Planning staff about and
Thank you.
come back with.
Alderman Wright, you have the floor.
Thank you. Since the continuous discussion is going on, it's good. I'm going to have some questions related to the enforcement of sidewalk construction or installation, and in reference to particularly our sidewalk and bicycle plan that we adopted, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And I know in the times that I have voted to grant these delays was the fact that there was a sidewalk going in between a long segment where there was no other sidewalk. So I think we need to have a serious discussion. I think it may have occurred at Public Works yesterday as to what's our plan. And I think when we look at imposing a sidewalk on a business and building, that is a cost, and it's a reasonable cost, but is it necessary and unnecessary? And I think we just need to go through some soul searching. I think if we're going to do it, then we need to be fair and do it. I'm a little concerned about just because someone builds somewhere out in the middle somewhere that they're going to put a sidewalk in and there's no sidewalk for miles or hundreds or thousands of feet. I just think we need to come to a conclusion that we're going to get serious about it and be fair about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You have the floor. Councilwoman Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to make a comment to Alderwoman Modrick's question about what should we do with the existing warp. A warp is a waiver of right to protest, which means that the city orders in a sidewalk, they can't protest it. That's all they signed. So as the attorney Wade Nyberg already stated, it really doesn't apply to sidewalks anyways because there really is no protest. So in my opinion, there's nothing that has to be done to reverse those old warps or anything else because they really don't carry a whole lot of weight. It was just a document that the city council had on staff that basically gave them notification that we talked about it at a meeting and that they were on notice, or any other property owners were on notice, that the sidewalk was going to come in sometime in the future. So I don't think we really need to go back and look at any of the older warps because they were basically just waiving their right to protest at that time. And Wade Nyberg already just said they really don't have any legs to stand on to waive it going forward or protesting it going forward. So I just thought I'd weigh in on that. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilwoman Scott. We have, I believe we have a motion on the floor, and the motion is to approve. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Here.
We're adjourning, except for Jerry. He's staying. Thank you.
I just did that.